In this video, I want to explain why people turn into haters. I also want to explain why many people turn into flying monkeys for narcissists. A flying monkey is an expression to explain an individual that defends a narcissist or defends a reprobate at all costs. They are the ones enabling the narcissist. They're the ones enabling the evildoers. And after the targets of the narcissist or the targets of the reprobate, they can't understand why all those people are assisting that evildoer. Why they're complying with it. Now in this video, I only have 15 minutes. Almost a minute is gone now. I want to explain simply onto you why people turn into haters and flying monkeys. They turn into haters and flying monkeys because they never examine their own will. It's that easy. It's that simple. They never examine their own will. They don't. They don't want to be mentally challenged. It goes like this. If you have someone that, let's say, he wears big pants. He doesn't lower his pants like people do in the ghetto. No, but he wears big pants. He wears an oversized coat. He has a hat with the sunglasses on. And people in the street see him and think, who does this guy think he is? Oh, this is an elderly man thinking he is something. And then you see another guy walking by in a suit and a briefcase. And the guy with the oversized coat bumps into the guy with the briefcase. The guy with the briefcase becomes upset and wants to be left alone. He walks to his car. Which is just a small car over there. And then the guy whom the man in a briefcase considered was homeless began to laugh out loud. And people think, oh, does this guy need to go to a psychiatrist? The guy then picks up his keys, pushes a button, and people see the lights go off at a Bugatti, a silver Bugatti. And everyone is shocked. So the guy walks to the car and drives away with it. That guy with that oversized coat, he was the owner of one of the major banks. And that guy with that suit had an application at one of those banks that afternoon. And eventually, it's that guy with that oversized coat had to decide whether he would get the job or not. But look at this. The people in the streets, they did not question the situation. According to their perception, the guy with the suit was the successful one, was the one that was trustworthy. Despite that guy lied on his resume, he built an whole resume based on air, while that other guy with that oversized coat, he overcame many financial recessions in his life. And that's why his bank was successful. Because his bank still used natural wealth, which many banks don't anymore. So the people in the street, they were scammed by their own perception. Why? Because they never questioned their own will. Because to question their own will implies that they need to acknowledge that they've been conditioned. And that can be frightening to some people to acknowledge they've been conditioned. And if they've been conditioned, that means they've been conditioned by someone or on the behalf of someone. Then you also need to ask why they were conditioned in such a way. And often they can't explain why, and then they need to do some research. And when you do some research, you realize that nothing adds up. But here's the thing. Their daily life, their relationships are based on that conditioning. So the moment they question that conditioning and they realize it doesn't add up, it's going to affect everything in their daily lives. They're now challenged, and they don't want that. So anytime anything happens that falls outside of their mental models, they dismiss it. It doesn't exist. And if the thing keeps persisting around them, they develop a negative attitude towards it, and now they want to get rid of it. And once they realize they can't get rid of it, but their resistance is harming their own health, now they're hating whatever is going on around them that doesn't match their mental models. And when then a narcissist comes with accusations against someone or against a thing that doesn't fit their mental models, they feel relieved. And now, to validate that mental model they're holding on to, they will assist the accuser in fighting the target. And they will believe that the target is guilty and deserves to be treated that way. Because to face themselves, to be mentally challenged, they don't want that. Why is it important to understand this? You will have a lot of folks out there that will turn on you instantly anytime you move in a way that does not line up with their mental models. It can be that you come from the hood, somewhere from, maybe not Chicago, but from New York. You're from the hood. And now you're buddies with some business tycoon from Japan or from Korea. You're there with them. You speak Korean. And now this doesn't add up according to the mental models. But it's real. It's happening. There's evidence over there on social media and also outside of it that you got out of the ghetto and you made it that far. What do you think is going to happen to those people that don't want to be mentally challenged? They'll turn on you. They'll blame you for the discomfort they feel. The discomfort comes from them being forced to admit that their mental models are just models based on conventions. And they can't even defend many of those conventions. They don't even know why they're holding on to those conventions, but they just do it. They don't want to face this about themselves. So what happens now? They'll begin to think, who does Joey think he is, hanging out with that business tycoon from Korea, huh? He thinks he's something. And while people are resisting and murmuring like this, it will affect them. But when it affects them in a negative way, they will blame someone else around them. And some will escalate, they'll come to physically take your life. The reason I'm teaching you this is that you will be able to see things as they are. Often when people turn on us instantly or out of the blue without any actual reason, we tend to dismiss it as either they're crazy or they're just demon possessed. And they may be crazy and they may be demon possessed, that's true. But we often don't see the real reason why. Now, I just explained the real reason why. They don't want to be mentally challenged. They don't want to examine their own will. They'll rather have you robbing them, lying to them, sexually molesting one of their children, or being a burglar, or being some terrorist who entered some mosque and shoot down many Muslims. They'd rather have you being something like this than to have you point out there that their will doesn't add up. Am I suggesting that worldly people are happy with what that guy did in New Zealand? No. Absolutely not. There's some that are happy, but those are extremists. But in general, folks rather have you being a bad guy, covered with filthiness, than to have you challenging their will. Some folks really can't handle it when you challenge their will. They get out of hand emotionally and eventually physically. They'll become dangerous when you do that. Christ said it. Christ said, if they hated me, they will hate you. Christ said, if they persecuted me, they will persecute you. Christ said, if the world hates you, remember that it had hated me first. So, If Christ was hated because he challenged the will of the people around him, how can it be that there are those quote-unquote believers out there who are always seeking to be at peace with the enemies of Christ? Reprobates that persist in their negativity. I'm not saying we shouldn't be civil and de-escalate tensions. Okay? I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. But de-escalating tensions is different than seeking peace with folks that are against true peace. Christ is the Prince of Peace, so if they don't want to agree with Christ, how can you be at peace with them? What type of counterfeit peace can they offer you? I just explained unto you why people turn into haters and flying monkeys. They don't want their will to be challenged. They don't. They will quickly look for some external threat to distract themselves with. In that case, they're happy with the external threat, not because they are fond of being threatened, but because now they are mentally relieved. That's why propaganda works. I'm telling you, that's why propaganda works. The pagan rulers of this world know this very well about the world's population, and they use this trick on the masses all the time. And the masses are scammed over and over again because they don't want to be mentally challenged. So you mean to tell me that there are pedophiles running in office? In many governments, there are pedophiles that run businesses. They have pedophile rings here and there, children being molested, they're harmed for life. You mean to tell me that these cults that worship the beast are active out there? And in some cases, not even a secret that they are there. Yet, common people tolerate them. But if you say something that goes against the status quo, you don't attack anyone, you're just stating a fact that's harmful, people tend to lose it. I'm telling you as it is. The world's population is haunted by cowardice. If they were not haunted by cowardice, the pagan rulers of this world would have been dethroned today. The reason they're still there is because common people don't want to be challenged. So that's why many of them turn into flying monkeys for reprobates. And those reprobates will discard them. Common people often prefer politicians who lie all the time, who make false promises that they never keep, over and over again, that they have someone that's Christ-centered to point out to them, your will doesn't add up. Know the type of world you're living in. Christ said to be wise as serpents, so obey him. That's it for now. I agree with Christ and be at peace.